Aussie.
And there we go for Saturday night. Alive ho. Not that I'm necessarily calling anyone a hoe. It's just how that little sea shanty goes. Hey, Megaleech, how's it going? Oh, what a day. I was a little bit tired today after staying up past 1 this morning. Didn't actually sleep. I don't think. But I did relax, just lying down, listening to an audiobook, which was nice. Was relaxing, which I needed. What's now streaming on Prime? Project Gemini. Oh, okay. Oh, God, I still haven't seen that movie Morbius that I think everyone universally said is terrible. It's okay. I assume that's about Morbius. Don't bother. It's like everyone says it's terrible. Actually, think, did Joe Biden really reduce a trillion? Right. Okay. No, sorry. Okay. Oh God, I don't know how long I'm going to last tonight. I think I'm going to be really fucking vague. I'm just getting distracted really easily. Hey, Justin. So, Michaelich, the vampiric effect kind of neat and also crap at the same time. Yeah. Ugh. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a long list of other things. I am really vaguing out. Yes, my receipt for my dinner. That's all good. Okay, I should stop looking at other things because my brain just fucking vagues out. Oh God, wait a sec. I was going to try and find something to focus my brain. Is there anything in the news headlines? Cyclone Gabrielle hitting Norfolk Island. Oh, and warnings in New Zealand as well. Maybe flight cancellations to New Zealand because of the storm. So this is a fun one. A 2-seat Japanese restaurant in a Carlton apartment. It's on the 43rd floor. Good news. The Skyrise Diner is one of Melbourne's most uniquely intimate new eating experiences. The bad news, it's fully booked all year. Well, it would be if only 2 people could be there at a time. It's open just one night a week for 2 diners. Okay, that is very, very weird. That is super weird. But go you, chef dude, doing something different. Oh, neat, Justin. Fancy hotel in Sydney. How was catching up with your dad? Uh, your table is illuminated by a soy sauce lamp. There you go. She is led by diners as to how social or not the evening is. Eating in silence is fine. Welcome cocktails mixed to order. Matcha and yuzu gin fizz. She will get the mesmerizing matcha whisking happening right in front of you. Then he'll talk you through the menu, which is all about toshoku, Japanese set meal of protein, rice, miso soup, and pickles. I am having trouble with words, not because I'm drunk, because I haven't had any alcohol, because I am tired. God, I honestly don't know how long I'm going to last tonight. All right. It's a la carte. More options than you'd expect, given the whole 2-person thing, but there's no waste. Whatever ingredients aren't used on the night, Gia cooks for himself or his mates during the week. That's how it's all started. He's Malaysian born, grew up in the UK. Okay, yes, is modelled on what someone else has done. Che in a Brunswick apartment. Good Lord, that is genuinely strange. Oh, nice. Got to get on well with a girlfriend. Good question to ask someone during their first time to Australia. It probably depends where they've come from. I mean, just off the top of my head, I think you could get an interesting conversation by saying, like, is there something you've noticed that's really different to where you come from? Have you seen anything that surprised you that you weren't expecting? Or have you seen things that you don't understand that you'd like an explanation for? Oh, gosh. I was sorry. There was a tickle in my nose. I really thought I was going to sneeze then. Toshoku Tuesdays. Victoria Street, Carlton. Okay. I'm kind of glad I read that story because it's super weird. I like weird shit. So, Aussie's warned over this email. You have 24 hours. Let's go. It's just going to be another Firkin scam email, is it? Fraudsters accessing people's computers. Letter says the company's premium security services are ready to be installed. Be charged an auto renewal fee on the software. Your plan will be auto renewed within 24 hours. Charge you $419. This is classic. If you didn't authorize a charge, you have 24 hours to cancel. Get instant refund. Contact our customer care. If you call them, they direct you to download a remote access app so they can steal your money and info. People should look out for red flags like spelling and grammar mistakes or suspicious links, or just someone that's their flavor these days. You are being charged X. To stop from being charged X, do Y. So, yes. It's meet the new scam, same as the old scam. She noticed you have less homeless people. Now I'm really intrigued where she's from. We do have less obviously homeless people than a lot of places, though. Ooh, 2 men die in a double shooting in Melbourne's West. That's a little bit unusual. People getting shot. Jesus, very fucking young looking. Ambushed at a home by a group who are on the run. 3 a.m. God, guy who's apparently 29 is pictured. He looks like he's fucking 13. He's got such a young face. Yep. There's some unpleasantness. Scam baiting channels started going after child predators. Which group do I have less sympathy for? Hard to pick, really. What do we got it to? A World War II bomb explodes unexpectedly in UK town. Army specialists are attempting to defuse a 250-kilogram bomb, and it went off. How, if someone's trying to defuse a bomb and it goes off, and it's a 250-kilogram bomb, how does no one get hurt? Discovered close to 2 gas pipes, and the army brought in to disarm it. Good Lord. Undetonated bombs from World War II remain serious concern throughout nearly all of Europe. They sure did drop a lot of bombs on cities in World War II. It was a war, I guess. People do things. You gotta love this headline. Young Australians are officially screwed. Young homeowners hurt most by rising interest rate. Boomers are expected to do just fine. That's hardly news. Oh dear. Gotta have a drink. Oh. Goodness gracious me. Landlord slammed over bizarre demands for $300 room. Landlords suck. I need to check this out. A $300 fully furnished room to rent in Frankston, for fuck's sake. They could move in immediately, spot conveniently located near shops. Accompanying pictures and disclaimer on expected tenant behaviour did not go down well. Appears to be filled with personal items, just big enough to fit a single bed inside. Wooden wall framing exposed and unfinished. Facilities available for the tenant to use include a dirty spa bath, but access would only be given on the weekends. No visitors to the property on weekdays. No drugs or pets. Or 5G phone. Oh my God. The landlord's a fucking lunatic. Jesus Christ. Good Lord. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be desperate or insane to rent a room in the house with that fucking nutcase. Hey, Safa, how you doing? Tired is how I felt this morning. Tired for most of the day. Had some lie downs. You missed me. I've already gone on my brain is very vague at the moment because of tiredness. So I don't know how long I'll keep going. Good if I actually have some booze. What will that do? I don't know. There you go. Anthony Albanese will be the first sitting Prime Minister to march in the Sydney Mardi Gras. There you go. I mean, that's tokenism, but hey. Of course I remember last night. I wasn't even that drunk last night. Stayed up till after 1. That's why I was tired. I mean, it was fun. I had a lot of people come on camera during the night. Yes. I think if someone's saying something about 5G phones, they are going to be right into QAnon. I think there's almost no doubt. I think it would be bad for your mental, emotional, and possibly even physical well-being to take a room in that guy's house because he sounds dangerously unstable. And what did I have for dinner? Yummy takeaway from Eto. They make yummy food. Often I get a mix of pasta and pizza. Tonight I just got pizza and it was yummy. It was like, I'm going to eat the whole pizza. And I know I'm not. I ate half of it. Probably have pizza for breakfast. It's good. Tasted real good going down. I was quite hungry. Justin, how long till we get an LGBT PM? Who knows? I don't think there's anyone prominent who's in the likely list who's out. We do have gay members of parliament, of course. And I think we have trans members of parliament too, at least in the Senate, I think. Although I could be wrong on that. Yeah, it's like people often bring it up with, Penny Wong should be PM. I think that would be a nightmare for her. I brought this up before. She's probably my favourite Australian politician. But we've seen the degree of bigotry in Australia was really brought into highlight by Julia Gillard's term as PM. There were a bunch of people who did not vote for the Liberal Party who were saying really gross misogynist things. And there was this real element of, no chick's going to tell me what to do. Very disconcerting. So, I'd say there's no one on the horizon likely to take the role. But, life's full of surprises. Oh, wild. Guy in Perth's been charged with bigamy. Don't see that in the news very often. Okay, what do we got? Too many wives, a rare bigamy case prosecuted by Australian Federal Police. Gary Henry White, 48, charged with bigamy and making false declarations, still married to his first wife when he wed a second woman in July 2020. September 2021, he finalised the divorce. 22, allegedly separated from his second wife, but no divorce. In November 2022, he allegedly married a third woman. Ah. Okay, here's a weird one with the third one. Like, he did it twice. He separated from his wife and married someone else without finalizing a divorce. But there's no allegation of bigamy in relation to the third marriage, because by then he was divorced from his first wife, but was not technically married to his second wife because the alleged bigamy rendered the second marriage invalid. Goodness me. But ahead of the third marriage, he told the Department of Justice's births, deaths, marriages he had never validly married and signed a formal declaration of no legal impediment to marriage. Says he's going to fight charges. Wowzers. How weird. You often don't see legal cases about bigamy. Justin, I fear you have too high an opinion of humans in general. Yeah. No, sorry. I was going to say something sort of mollifying, but just no. I just see too many awful people. Principal and teacher caught having sex at school. Like Principal Skinner and Edna Krabappel. What was their else line? And then they had a baby, and the baby looked at me. I would just, if I was a student at that school, that's what I'd be saying to my parents. I'd be doing the Ralph Wiggum stuff. Goodness. Managing stress at work. 3 things your employer could do for you. Yeah, but they won't. Let's see what they say. Identifies stress points. It's impossible to tackle the cause of stress if an organization doesn't know what they are. During research, participants spoke of importance of initiating and maintaining dialogue between various groups, including employers, trade unions, human resource, senior management. Train managers. Cover aspects of making deadlines reasonable, being educated on various help mechanisms. God, this article is so fucking vapid. Make someone responsible for managing stress. Okay. Some said it was HR. Others said it was occupational health professionals. Oh God, I've got this weird little fucking cut on my finger. It's really irritating. God, that article was so fucking vapid. Doing, doing, hunt for suspect in double murder. Yep, that doesn't sound good. Kind of my local area. It's not my local area. It's the same. Huh. It's interesting. This one just shows cops and not other people. Oh, yeah, no, that is the same story. They didn't identify them as South Sudanese. Oh, dear. A disturbing discovery in Vivian's underwear changed her life. Was it spiders? Did you find spiders in your underwear? That'd change your life. Spiders in your underwear. Hell yeah, and hello, Kirsten and Lee. So, is that the first time you've heard the word bigamy? I suppose there's not much news about it. That's why I was so surprised when I saw it. Jackman's new movie gets it very wrong. Okay. Ooh, John Mulaney's touring Australia. He's kind of funny. Oh, God, yeah. I think we were talking about Phoebe Bridges the other night because she played a show and it was at Margaret Court Arena. So she ended up leading the crowd in a chant of "Fuck Margaret Court." Womp womp. Pretty goddamn funny to me. Oh, cockatoos can not only use tools, they can carry whole toolkits for trickier jobs. There you go. They've also got shitty senses of humor. There's a video going around a couple of weeks ago. I think it was Flinders Lane. There's some apartments, a few floors up, and the people had little plants on their balcony. And a sulfur-crested cockatoo was just picking up pots and then dropping them over the edge for fun, apparently. What a bastard. But, yeah. Cockatoos have weird senses of humor, as it turns out. Ugh. Oh, I was kind of thinking, will I make a cocktail video tonight? I don't think I have the energy, so I don't think I will. And I don't know how much energy I am going to have for the next hour and a half, but we'll see. Okay, here's something I'm intrigued in. Whatever happened to Gautier? Because he did disappear. Wally DeBacker. Oh, your dinner. Yes, I put it in the fridge for you. Wait, where did I put it?
Is it in the bottom drawer? Or is it? There's a bag on your table there.
Oh God! I was going to put it in the fridge and I got distracted. There you go. Here's your dinner. Oh yeah, it's good because I needed to make space, and as I was considering it, then I forgot. Okay. So okay. 2 billion views on YouTube. Gautier must have made a pretty penny. According to the Daily Mail, he doesn't believe ads should play before his songs. So people estimated he could have made $10 million in ad revenue if he'd run ads against the song. All right. Okay, this is what I know. What's he been up to? Did he release more albums? Okay. I didn't even know that. He retired in 2014. Wally DeBecker now makes music under a different name, wanting his international persona to take a step back. All right, the basics, yeah. And they don't perform live anymore. There you go. Now I know a bit more about what happened to Gautier. There you go. Hello, Dr. Abigail. How are you? Yes, Justin, it is a crime. And it's a crime of deception. And okay, you're getting into different territory if, like Mormons or the subset of Mormons who believe they should still be able to have multiple wives. This guy's being charged with bigamy and making false declarations because he lied. So, Kirsten, there's a plumber messes up garden bed much to husband's dismay. Oh, no. I want the gardening messed up. Yes, I think it's an interesting question, like with regards to polyamory or whatnot. Should the state be involved in policing people's preferred relationship status? But you get into questionable areas of exploitation with those things as well. So, right. So, yeah, I will slightly correct my initial statements to say I don't think the question of relationship structures is so cut and dried. I think you can raise very valid questions about the degree to which the state can or should interfere with people's relationship choices. Dr. Abigail, it is definitely a crime. Oh, you missed. I actually found a story in the news, a rare case of someone actually being prosecuted for bigamy and making false declarations. I'd be willing to bet just the nature of that story with the guy just cavalierly, when he's getting married for the third time, declaring that he's never been married before and there's no impediment to him being married, knowingly false declarations. I'm getting a sovereign citizen vibe from this guy. I would not be at all surprised if that came out, that this guy literally believes laws don't apply to him. So if it's not a religious crime in our secular society, there's no such thing as a religious crime. There are crimes. Justin, you can question all you like, but it's a crime. It's on the books as a crime. And you can question whether it is or not. In this context, the guy is facing criminal charges for deception, essentially. So, I mean, the legal boundaries around adult relationships are very heavily influenced by religious edicts from the past. but the crimes aren't religious crimes at all. You'd have to be in somewhere like Iran, a theocracy, where they literally have laws that are all built around the religion, for there to be religious laws you could break. But yeah. And you can argue there's a lot of things that are on the books as crimes that shouldn't be, or the law should be structured differently. But you can't really argue that it's not a crime. It is. And Justin, you say that. Based on what do you say that? In fact, I'll look it up. Adultery laws. That's the word we want. Is not a crime in Australia. Yes, there did used to be adultery laws. And in fact, adultery is no longer grounds for... Well, there was this weird cottage industry in a lot of places where adultery was grounds for divorce when two people wanted to get divorced, but they didn't have any real grounds under the law. They would stage an adultery. There were actual businesses where someone, usually the husband, would get a hotel room and be found in bed with a woman, but it was a transaction. The woman was there, so they could be charged with adultery, and someone who was part of the transaction would either burst in or photograph them and say, "There you go, adultery." But we've had no fault divorce since 1975. United States, one of the few industrialized countries to have laws criminalizing adultery. Vary from state to state. Until the mid-20th century, most US states, especially southern and northeastern states, had laws against fornication, adultery, or cohabitation, being gradually abolished or struck down by courts as unconstitutional. State laws against adultery are rarely enforced. Federal appeals courts have ruled inconsistently as to whether they're unconstitutional. So, as of 2022, adultery is a criminal offense in 16 US states, but prosecutions are rare. The last conviction of adultery in Massachusetts was in 1983, held that the statute was constitutional, no fundamental personal privacy right implicit in the concept of liberty guaranteed for adulterers. Adultery is on the books as a felony in Wisconsin. Good Lord. You could get up to 5 years in prison in Oklahoma. So there you go. God, Florida only decriminalized cohabitation of unmarried couples in 2016. Jesus Christ. What do swingers do? Well, in those states, going to a swingers party would technically be illegal. be under, if they were married, it would either be under the adultery laws, or if they weren't married, it would be under the fornication laws. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a little disconcerting to find out how many American states still have adultery on the books. It's just, I think sometimes it's a real hassle to repeal laws, and so they don't repeal them. Oh God, what happens when you die? Woman dead for 27 minutes reveals what she saw beyond the grave. No, you saw nothing, because you don't see anything after you die. And everyone who makes up these stories after being dead is either just straight up lying, or it was like, the hallucinatory effects of their brain being fucking deprived of oxygen. They had dreams or whatnot. The best you could say is when they were in a coma, they had dreams and they think they were real. I think in the vast majority of cases, people who tell those stories are deliberately fucking lying. So it's like a light switch going off. I went straight down. She had no oxygen to her brain, did not have a heartbeat. She was dead. 10 minutes without oxygen can lead to brain death. Well, there you go. So they eventually, after about 6 attempts, successfully defibrillated her back to life. It's real. Oh, Jesus was standing there with his arm. Again, I suspect this person is deliberately lying for attention. As anyone who says anything about, I saw what's on the other side, there's someone somewhere on a spectrum of they had dreams or hallucinations as a byproduct of lack of oxygen to their brain, or they're just straight up deliberately lying for the attention. And reading that story, this person is just straight up fucking lying. Yeah, that makes sense to me, because is your brain dying or function in your brain changing because of no oxygen to it? All we know is what our brains tell us, and who the fuck knows what neurons fire in your brain when you are on that death. Exactly, Safa. What happens after you die is pretty much the same as what happened before you were born. You don't exist. I think there are fun and complex philosophical questions that you can explore in there, actually. Just with, again, the nature of consciousness, I find a fascinating thing to consider. Why should we be conscious? Why do various amino acids bond in a particular way, and then over a period of millions of years develop DNA, learn to self-replicate, and over millions more years become more and more complex, eventually resulting in beings that have self-awareness and consciousness and can ask questions about their awareness and consciousness. It's really fucking wild to me, honestly. It's funny because you can trace, like, scientifically how things happen, what is the likely cause of certain changes. Like I said, amino acids that eventually became life is wild. Safa, religion is real. Religions are real. Every single religion is wrong because whatever someone's beliefs are, 99% of people disagree with that. And in fact, you get the biggest schisms within theoretically the same religion. So when 99% of people disagree with your view on religion, what are the chances you're right? And it's like, the old line of there have been thousands of gods that people completely believed in throughout human history. And you in the world today very confidently say all those other gods are silly, but your one's definitely right. Justin, I hate to disagree. Death's nothing. It's ceasing to exist. I don't mind. Look, I genuinely do not mind if someone wants to believe in an afterlife, wants to believe in reincarnation. You do you, but I mean, and because clearly no one's ever proven anything. Oh yeah, sorry, Kirsten, with not having AIDS, but he recorded his stories of death multiple times, and it was, depressingly straightforward. He said, no, it was just like a light switch on, and then it came back. There was no experience on the other side. So yes, Dr. Abreu, things like that, the tunnel of light, but also that tunnel of light thing and life flashing before your eyes, that is also, to an extremely large extent, the power of suggestion. People have heard that that's what other people say when they die or have near-death experiences, and so they have an expectation of experiencing that themselves. And so after the event, they convince themselves they experienced it, whether they did or not. Again, human brains, honestly, human brains are so unreliable. Hey, Nog, how's it going? And yes, I'm sort of really wary of borrowing Ricky Gervais lines, but he does say some pertinent things. But yes, in line with what I was saying before, which was also a Ricky Gervais line, actually. Yeah, modern religious people disbelieve in almost exactly the same number of gods as I do. There's just one they haven't got past. I don't really have to go through. I mean, what do you mean about a biography? I just use Code Grey. That's the best biography. It probably depends what you mean by a biography. What do you want to capture in that? No, been to the opticians. Actually, you know what? I might do that this week. New year. I get to have new glasses because my health insurance. I'll do that. Oh, you mean literally a book? I think it's a niche topic, and I'll go out on a limb and say I'm certainly not putting the effort in. Question is, okay, here's the funny thing, Safa. How did I go from being an altar boy to a non-believer? I couldn't answer that. I can't pin a specific time in my life because I did absolutely believe what I was taught growing up. I absolutely believed, the Catholic version of Christianity, and then I didn't, and I could not. There's not one sort of striking moment. I couldn't even tell you when the transition happened. But it did happen. Probably somewhere around later years of school or early years of uni, but I couldn't actually pin it down. No, 10-year-old glasses. Yes, you do need to have your eyes checked more often than I might get my eyes checked. Even though just saying it, I'm going, oh, my eyes. What's wrong with my eyes? And I might have to have my prescription checked. Actually, I'll go and find. I don't even remember when I last did an eye test. Yeah, that's absolutely fair, Kirsten. Stop believing when your dad got sick and didn't get better. Fair enough. Safa, I'm with Medibank Private. I don't particularly recommend them over anyone else, but Inertia, I'm still with them. Yes, Meglich, I'm not sure if Dr. Abigail noticed that you'd done that. I mean, my question, because I mean, obviously I know what a biography is, but because you mentioned videos and going through video archive and biography, I didn't know what you meant. Like, I didn't know that you explicitly meant a document of his life in book form. Justin, I was baptized and raised Catholic, confirmed in the Catholic Church. Went to Catholic school up to year 10, because that's as far as it went in Dubbo at the time. They do have a Christian school there now that goes to year 12. I would have been a very different person, I think, and I mean very different, if my Catholic school had gone to year 12, and so I'd never gone to a state school. I would have got better grades for a fucking start, because if people don't make me work, I don't work. And they made me work at the Catholic school, and then went to state school, and they didn't, and so I didn't. I need motivation to do things. If people just let me go, I'm not going to do anything. Oh, that's interesting. You were a young non-believer. Yeah. I believed also. Oh God, no, bad Catholic. No, not that way. Yes, you need to be very careful when you're talking about being a bad Catholic, because very bad things get done by Catholics, particularly people very high up in the hierarchy. All right, I'm going to put these things in the frigidage. There they go. Goodness gracious me. Blah. Ugh. Sorry, I'm still very lethargic. The cicadas are starting up. Right, I'm going to get an ice cube. Ugh, I feel like I haven't had one of my fridge cocktails for a while, so I might do that. Oh, gosh darn it. Big old chunk of ice. Which one? I forget what they are anyway. They probably has to get thrown out. Right, go this one. Oh, a bit of residue in the bottom. It's probably from the barrel. Pop goes the weasel. Oh, looks a lordy. All right. Trying to be focused. Arnie said, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age? I don't know that quote. And I don't think it was an Ice Age that killed the dinosaurs. Well, Heine's going to see if he can see the green comet. Safa, so many spelling errors in those two sentences. I don't know what you're trying to say. Well, Safa, that's how religions work. You get born into them and they try and keep you in them. They want the numbers. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. You picked the most obscure Arnie thing when he was in the Batman movie playing Mr. Freeze. I used to see you. Arnie, what a weird guy. He did great comedies, though. Things like Twins and True Romance and Kindergarten Cop. He did really good comedies. Like True Romance, I think. True Lies with Jamie Lee Curtis. That's an exceptional movie. I really like that movie. It's a good action movie and it's very funny. So, and as much as I enjoyed the action films, Terminator, Predator, Commando, I think Arnie's at his best in comedies, quite honestly. Well, you see, Dr. Epico says tantamount to child abuse. I mean, there are a shit ton of examples where it's actual child abuse. Very disturbing stuff. But, it's weird. Like, at some point there was, the tipping point of religions and spirituality existed because people were searching for answers and they got together and, philosophized and came up with answers. And at some point it tipped into the people controlling those religions wanted to control the population and force them to think particular ways rather than give people an avenue to explore philosophical ideas. They tipped over into, no, we've established the philosophical ideas. Now we're going to coerce you into following and stay with it. Oh, wow. Okay. That was your VHS movie, Batman and Robin. Yeah, that's the thing. It's when you had something on VHS when you're a kid. Lone Wolf McQuaid with Chuck Norris. Jesus. I mean, Justin, you say that, but we are seeing really weird resurgences of incredibly dangerous religious dogma. The US springs to mind. It's not limited to there, but it seems most obvious there and most disturbing and most dangerous. All right. Just putting this. That probably made a lot of noise in the microphone, I just realized. This is the thing. When you are sure of yourself, you run a very high risk of, well, being smug might be the wrong word. That might be too harsh. But you run the risk of assuming your worldview is, if not universal, at least widely held. If I don't try and predict the future, basically, because there are too many variables. So much stuff happened in the last 10 years that, and I mean shit things, happened in the last 10 years that I never would have predicted. It's just wild. Oh, wowzers. Are you having midnight bread, Megaleech, or are you just going to leave it there and have it in the morning? Ready in 2 hours and 40 minutes. No memories of your late father taking you and your brother to VHS rental. Oh man, wasn't that a thing though? Going to the video store, gonna rent some movies. It's wild. That would almost be a fun thing to do if it won lotto. A possible fun thing to do would be to set up a video rental store, just like with art house and weird stuff, and like, so you didn't have to make money, so it didn't matter that you didn't have many customers. You could just, like, have the film buffs coming in, and you could have film nerd talks, and you might meet some interesting people. You won't make money doing it, which is why I say it's an after winning lotto thing. But yeah. So you are having midnight bread. You're going to try a slice and then put it away. Oh, and it's a bit small, so it might not work. Okay. Man, I'm a really old bread maker. Like, Jesus, it's probably, I don't know, it might be like 25 years old. I don't know. Haven't used it for a while. I'm assuming it still works. Oh, nice. No, I like that. Your local rental place was above a bakery, and every time you smell fresh baked bread, it takes you back. That's really nice. I like that. Megan, need to go upjoint it? Upjoint it? All right, so you got like a 25-year-old one too, yeah. I don't know, mine's over there somewhere. It's in a cupboard. It hasn't been used for a little while. I mean, Young Ms. Angry even did the thing during COVID, making sourdough, but got bored with it after a while. There's still a bit of the giant bag of flour we got from Costco. I don't know if that's going to have weevils in it or not, because that's been up there for 2 years. So, yeah. Again, Justin, you don't have to go back 100 years for most people to be religious. You start going back 20, 30, 40 years, and it's most people are religious. But having said that, there were atheists in the past. Comparatively few open atheists, because it would absolutely ruin your life and possibly get you imprisoned if you proselytized for atheism. So it was relatively uncommon for people to be openly atheist. But I imagine there were a lot of people who were. They just didn't say much about it. Man, it's like I absolutely forget what that cocktail is, but it's really yummy. Very, very, very flavorful. But that's the joy of life. My God, did I mention more than a dozen times that my tiredness is making me really vague? But I have lasted the first hour, so that's okay. What is update required? Restart. I am not fucking restarting. Fuck you. I'm doing a live stream. Don't fuck with me, Windows. I'm gonna take your shit. Do. Who's Sarah Paulson? Sarah Paulson lives in a 500 square foot trailer. Looks exactly like I thought it would. I don't know who that is. What's the circle there? She's a living legend, a titan in Hollywood. Truest talent is the ability to pick a good interior designer. I still don't fucking know who it is. It's very small. There you go. Okay, I don't know who this person is and I don't care. What am I looking at it for? I don't fucking care. Oh, neat. Someone's doing a inappropriate drawing of a piggy. I need to know what was inappropriate about the piggy. An American mum accused the youngster of drawing male genitalia on a pig. All right. Sorry. It is the teacher should not, if this really happened, the teacher should not have drawn attention to it. But this little kid's drawing absolutely, that absolutely looks like a cock and balls. It's kid's bad drawing of a tie. But yes, also these culture war stories, I tend to not believe them anyway, because people just make up shit to cause a scene. But if that happened, then I would say the teacher should not have drawn attention to it. Should have just let it go. Unless all the kids started going, that's a dick and balls. And then just to avoid disruption, just take it down. Dominic Perrotet's brothers, Charles and Jean-Claude. Why has he got a brother called Jean-Claude? Ordered to appear before Hills Shire Council. Let's see. Parliamentary committee summoned them to give evidence, allegations of impropriety by members of the council in Sydney's northwest. Committee said in a statement, 4 people summons were key individuals. Premier Perrottet said he's not spoken to his brothers about being summoned. Oh, Jesus Christ. You fucking liar. In June, Liberal Party MP Ray Williams alleged under parliamentary privilege senior members of his party and state executive were getting payments from a Sydney property developer. Wow. There you go. Mr. Nassif, who's declined to appear before, he's the developer, declined to appear before the inquiry. I'll be in a remote part of Lebanon at the time, and I don't intend to return to Australia before March. Which absolutely, definitely does not make you sound dodgy as fuck. Well, that's what I was thinking, Nook. You'd have to be a Jean-Claude Van Damme fan. Yeah, no, it was an attempt to do a tie, definitely. But it did very much look like a cock and balls. What else? Reddit says it was hacked. Recommends users set up 2-factor authentication. That's how the French say it. I say authentication. Reddit says it was hacked, compromised some company data. Redditors have no need to fear. User data was not impacted, at least that they know of. The hacker managed to trick a Reddit employee into clicking on a plausible-sounding prompt, forward them to a website that cloned the behavior of our intranet gateway in an attempt to steal credentials and second-factor tokens. After the hacker nabbed the user's login credentials, they used them to access some internal documents, codes, as well as internal dashboards and business systems. If the other thing that was clone the behavior, their intranet gateway, I feel like it's a pretty goddamn safe bet it's a former employee or possibly a current employee who did it. Huh. I haven't used Reddit in forever. I was very active on Reddit in the early days. But almost never go on it now. Oh dear. Fitness influencer reveals unexpected way she orgasms. And that's someone who wants some attention. Developer accused of wild excavator rampage after video. Oh, that sounds wild. Witcher 3's next-gen vaginas were unintended. Whoops. Unintended vaginas. Witcher 3 next-gen update added realistic vaginas. There's a fan mod that got added to the updated games. In Witcher 3, women who were shown full frontal nudity had no visible genitals, just the sort of smoothed-over Barbie doll area. In the next-gen update, which released for free this past December, seems that crones from Crookback Bog, the Brookses, the only women NPCs that regularly do full frontal, without any obscuring shots or panties, have landing strip-style pubic hair and visible labia. The vaginas were added by mistake. Oh, haven't we all had problems with accidental vaginas? Honestly. Oh God, Justin Yahoo answers. That was a whole thing. Oh dear. I find it hard. This writer says, if you find it hard to believe, a game like Witcher 3, which has a ton of female nudity and absolutely no dicks, would accidentally add realistic vaginas in an update, join the club. I have to admit, I was a bit surprised when Mrs. Angry was playing Witcher 3 and your characters were having sex. And I was thinking, God, I thought game developers were really wary of doing that because they didn't want their games banned. Wowzers. Goodness gracious me. Well, of all the things I was going to end up talking about tonight, accidental vaginas or accidental vulvas, to be fair. Oh God, yes, those old things with misspelling pregnant. So you're super worried about that person. Justin, I still have a Yahoo address that's active that I still use. So what else was it? Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard have 2 daughters. They both know their daddy is an addict. Okay. Speaking honestly with kids, I guess. Oh God, Netflix cracking down on account sharing. Well, I didn't share my Netflix with anyone. Dearie, dearie, dear. US accused of trying to quietly ban Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto. Well, you know, it is a fucking scam, honestly. All right, doing that thing and fuck off. Oh, so Queensland's going to get a 3-day heat wave after this tropical cyclone. I didn't know it worked like that. 10 degrees above average. Well, that's pretty fucking harsh. Central Coast, Whitsundays. A whole bunch of places being over 40 Celsius. Okay. I got 10 above average. I thought it would be more than that. Oh, sorry, Kirsten, you keep up. Dax relapsed last year or 2021. And his podcast episode was really good. There you go. Well, it is, like I said, to me, I find it very interesting that they're talking about, helping the kids understand, not sweeping it under the carpet. Interesting. So your Yahoo is 15 years. Well, I can trace it back because I was using it when I was dating. So it's at least 19 years old, my Yahoo email. Still check it every day. It's just on some mailing lists, basically. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, God, Super Bowl ads. That's such a weird concept to me, that people talk more about the ads that are on in the Super Bowl than the Super Bowl. Young angler catches huge barramundi. There you go. Selma Hayek says she got dragged to the courthouse by the family to get married. That's very weird. Ooh, Logan Paul and KSI's Australian meet and greet cancelled over security fears. Interesting. Can't keep up with what the kids are doing. Woolworths cancelled a highly anticipated launch amid safety concerns. They were scheduled to appear at the Midvale Central Shopping Centre in Perth to launch their hugely successful sports drink. So Woolies has exclusive rights to sell it. With the advice of WA Police, security provider, City of Swan, we think public safety is dangerous, so we've cancelled it. Woolworths also shut down rumours of a rescheduled event at Sydney Town Hall store, stating categorically it wasn't true. Well, that's very interesting that people just go like, yep, you know what? It's just going to be insane and dangerous, and we don't want to do it. TikTok megastar Anna Paul's launch with Australian activewear brand was cut for similar reasons last year. There you go. Well, I've seen that sort of thing happen firsthand as well. Fans just go cray-cray. Nice. Kirsten, original email from when you were 13. Still active. Good for mailing lists. Justin, my main email account's at Gmail. Hardly surprising with being on YouTube and stuff, but Safa, I also hate crowds. I will usually avoid anything that's going to involve big crowds. I find it unpleasant. Not a fan. Not at all. No, sir, I don't like it. Thinking. I haven't had that. I'm looking over here because like spiced orange ginger ale there, but I got some in the fridge. I haven't had any of that for a while. Jesus, I think I'm going to sleep like a fucking rock tonight. I feel very, very tired. So, my word. Reminding me of the Janoskians. Does anyone remember the Janoskians? They were big about, when were they big? Like 15 years ago? I can't even remember. What else? A $2.50 t-shirt doesn't belong on the runway. Okay, sure. Oh God, Super Bowl ads. Blech. Lily Collins opens up about toxic ex who made me feel very small and fans think they know. I don't know who Lily Collins is. These people, see, I'm old. I'm old and out of touch, and there will be things, people who are apparently extremely well known, and I've never fucking heard of them. Rakyara. Oh, we've just been to a Tom Gold cartoon. I like Tom Gold cartoons. Happy ending of a great romance. My dear, I rode all night over hill and dale to humbly beseech you to forgive me my hitherto deplorable conduct and make me the happiest man in Shropshire by consenting to marry me. And nothing could make me happier. And if you would prefer a shorter, sadder ending, cut along the dotted line. And if you do that, he just says, marry me. And she says, no. Weird. Tom Gould does really odd and enjoyable cartoons, though. A lot of them very science-based humor. I like. Oh, yes. Anyone remember the stories like Yahoo could have bought Google for, I think, only a couple of $1 million. But no one really believed there was a lot of money in search back in the day. Google proved there is. But, I mean, you know, the business world generally and the tech world specifically is full of people who were completely wrong. They either backed things that were a fucking joke or they passed on things that ended up being huge. In terms of backing things that were a joke, the biggest one that springs to mind for me is the Segway. There was just absolutely astonishing amounts of hype about it. That's what people were just calling it, before anyone even knew what it was. Like, they didn't even know what type of thing it was. But all these big brains from the tech world, you know, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, all of them were given demos of it, and they're all mind blown, saying this will change the future and blah 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 blah. Spoiler alert: it's close to a complete failure, but it will always hold a special place in my heart because, you know, it failed so badly. It got sold to different people a couple of times. Different people buying it for less each time, thinking they could do something with it. I think it was the third owner of Segway who was actually killed driving a Segway off a cliff. And that's just special to me. That is a very on the nose metaphor for the story of Segway, I think. That the person who owned it was actually killed by it. So let's do this. There it is. There's one over there. There's such cute little boggles that Fever Tree do. Hey, honey. I was tempted to add some booze to this, but I don't think I will. Gonna let it go because I'm just going to fucking sleep. That may be true. Justin Blockbuster had the chance to buy Netflix, but that may have resulted in Netflix as we know it never existing. Because for anyone who forgets or never knew, Netflix original business model was sending you rental DVDs that you ordered over the internet. Which they made a weirdly large amount of money doing. Suffer, I like the bubbly sound too, actually. Just gonna put a couple of these in the fridge. La-di-da. Oh, my goodness me. Look, I have no idea what that is. Success stories like Levi Roots and his reggae sauce. I have no idea what that is. I've never heard of any of that. Oh, man, that's a really interesting taste. Literally, as they describe it, it's like a spicy ginger ale with an orange flavor in it, and it's super fucking yummy. This is one I recommend, Safa. Fever Tree's Spiced Orange Ginger Ale. It's very tasty. I originally had it was recommended as the signature serve with a chocolate gin that I had. I no longer have any of the chocolate gin, but I have had it with other flavored gins, and it's very good. But it's good on its own. Yes, I've heard of Dragon's Den, like Shark Tank, and where people pitch to rich people, you should invest in my company. Megaleech is still experiment. Yes, it's non-alcoholic. It's a mixer. Fever Tree make mixers, not alcoholic beverages. So what were we saying? Discord. What's happening on Discord? Megaleech having a 40 spotted. Mandarin and jasmine gin with pear syrup, stevia, Cappy blood orange soda. I was literally about to ask. Sorry, I'm going to share this picture so what I say makes sense. I was literally about to ask, is your cocktail sitting on a washing machine? But it's the bread maker we were talking about. There you go. Yes, I was initially confused, but now it makes sense because we were already talking about the bread maker. See, I told you my brain is just not working that well because of tiredness. Okay. Oh, goodness me. There's a reason most car companies don't use stainless steel, and they're talking about Elmo Mush's Cybertruck, which is fucking ridiculous. Oh, dear. Several good reasons you don't get factory-produced stainless steel models. Costs more than steel used in most automobiles. Requires special welding techniques. Tesla has shared virtually no details about how it'll overcome the challenges of working with stainless steel, which includes safety. Steel used in most cars is designed to crumple in a crash, absorbing energy and protecting passengers. Stainless steel does not crumple as easily, exposing the passengers to more force from impact. Also, there was this ridiculous thing they showed in like one of these demo Cybertrucks where they're smashing at the window with a hammer saying, see, the window won't break. It's like, you need your windows to break. You actually need that. If there's an accident and you're trapped in the car and the emergency services can't like break a window to get you out. Anyway, short version, everything Elon Musk says is absolute fucking shit. And he's a fucking moron. Dr. Abigail, welcome back. And you hate Dyson vacuum cleaners, over-engineered. Yeah. So you're saying the guy who invented Dyson's pitched his product, turned him down because they made money selling vacuum bags. Yeah, well, the Dyson company has certainly made a lot of money. So, Noog, you were talking about Levi Roots, took his sauce onto the show, convinced two of them to invest $50K for a 40% stake, and it's now worth £45 million. Also, the investors made out like bandits, though. Their $50K investment worth tens of millions. Oh, sorry, Megalith, you're talking about the Cybertruck thing. They hit it with a ball bearing and it did break. But they were marketing a fucking thing that it's good if the windows don't break. They're just fucking idiots. Ah, there you go. I don't know who Rosie Waterland is, but I'm assuming you enjoyed the podcast about Elmo. Oh my God, like I shared, like retweeted a thing I saw on Twitter the other day. There's a video they shot at Twitter. It's like a meeting. It's Elmo and three simps. And it's just this ridiculous. It's supposed to be banter, I think. And it's just so painful and awkward. And these dudes are just fucking sucking up. Like about, how cool he is on Twitter, and yeah, you do great memes, and he going, yeah, I make some memes. Yeah, your meme game's strong. And it was, I swear to God, I cringed so hard. I thought my skeleton was going to erupt from my body. It was fucking embarrassing. The guy just surrounds himself with sycophants. It's so embarrassing to watch. Ugh. Was that their line, Dr. Abigail, with the big ball bearing that hit the window? It didn't go through. But again, they're like lauding the wrong things. Like, it's so tough, it won't. And people saying that if the vehicle doesn't crumple, if the glass doesn't break, you are putting the occupants' lives at risk. So what's this? A Rivian. Oh, these are the. just don't buy those big fucking vehicles. I despise with a passion those fucking vehicles, and I just get so angry at people who have them. They're just like they're fuckwit mobiles. There's no excuse for them. Oh gosh. I never watched it. I do remember the thing with Elmo smoking weed with Joe Rogan, and Rogan couldn't suck his dick harder if he tried. Oh. Oh, was that what he said? He said the glass in the Cybertruck was bulletproof, which would be a fucking terrible idea. It would be an absolute terrible idea. It's so unsafe, but it's just everything he says is fucking horseshit. My God, it's ridiculous. It's so dumb. Oh no, Justin, your flight back to Canberra is cancelled. How are you going to get home? Jude, you walked in just as I was saying, fuckwit mobiles. They really are. I hate them. I hate them so much. So very, very much. Good Lord, Claude. Oh my God, what is this doing it to me? Sorry, checking the various things. Another thing with landlords being assholes, we all know that. There's okay. What is this weird shit? Ooh, here's a fun thing. 12 everyday dangers you should avoid at all costs. Is putting scorpions down your underpants one of them? Because I recommend you don't do that. Clean your dryer lint trap to prevent fires. Or don't use a fucking clothes dryer. Use a clothesline. Oh my God. Don't sit with your feet on the dashboard of a moving car. Seriously, anyone who does that gets what they fucking deserve. Oven mitts don't work when they're wet. That's good advice. That's very good advice. Actually, first two are dumb. Third one's good. Don't mess with a split or dead tree. Even experienced tree professionals have been injured and killed by dead trees that split during a storm. Hot and cold glass look the same. That's an interesting observation. A pile of oily rags can catch fire all by itself. Certain type of oils begin to dry, they oxidize, and they can actually just smolder and catch fire without anything. There you go. Never mess with a garage door spring. I don't have a garage door, so that's okay. They're under extreme tension. If the tension suddenly released, they can kill a person or cause serious injury. Never mix bleach and ammonia. Ah, yes. Chlorine gas. Yeah. A falling knife has no handle. Yes, don't try to catch a falling knife. Well, that's what I do. If I drop a knife, I just sort of step out of the way. Moose and I don't know who needs to be told that. Moose and bison will fuck you up. Those animals are huge. Good Lord. Don't deep fry a frozen turkey. Yes, that's the thing Americans do on Thanksgiving. Don't touch cool-looking caterpillars or ocean creatures because the brightly colored ones are often toxic. Okay, a couple of those were actually good. A couple of them were dumb, but a couple of them were good. Oh God, yes, that's the weirdest thing, Dr. Abigail. The Americans who ban clotheslines. It absolutely does my head in. That's borderline criminal. Forcing people to waste electricity is just ridiculous. Don't clean up urine with bleach. Yes. Oh my God. I think I've I think I've told this story before. It's from the Blind Boy podcast. He had this thing where he didn't leave his room for a long time. So he had a bottle next to his bed that he would piss in at night. Like he didn't want to get out of bed. He would piss in this bottle. And in the morning, sort of, I think he would tip it out his bedroom window. And this went on for a long time. And then he realized at a particular time, and because he was, I don't know, not wanting to be wasteful, so he kept using the same bottle. And he noticed after an extended period of time, there was a residue on the inside of the bottle. It was a urine residue. It was like solidified, sort of crystallized urine staining the inside of the bottle. And rather than just chucking it out, he thought, I will clean this. And he got like a kitchen cleaner that was an ammonia bleach, and he added, no, it wasn't, the urine was the ammonia. But he used this kitchen cleaner. So he put bleach in the bottle, and the bleach reacted with the ammonia in this urine residue and formed chlorine gas, which and he just kind of laughs about it. So, I could have killed everyone in my house because I had developed this weird habit with a bottle that I was peeing into. Oh, okay, Megalich, you looked up. Elmo's claim about thermonuclear-proof glass was the Tesla semi-truck. There you go. Basically, Elmo is an unserious person. Elmo is not someone who should be treated seriously. He's an irresponsible, honestly quite pathetic man-child. And he's so desperate for people to think he's cool. It's just straight up embarrassing watching him in action. Should just be like me and give up. Just accept that no one thinks I'm cool. What? That is literally not what I meant to do. Good Lord. Just trying to work a thing out. Let's have a look at what the internet's telling me. What's the internet telling me? Nothing very interesting. Sorry, I was looking for something on Facebook, and it just reminded me I had this absolute fucking weirdo. He's like an old school YouTuber who I was Facebook friends with, and I just joining in the posting like, oh gee, it's the Leonardo DiCaprio thing with increasingly younger women. That's unsettling and creepy, isn't it? And I just posted a thing someone had done on Twitter, because I thought it was really funny. The way they phrased it was like, by their mid-20s, women will get bored with Leonardo DiCaprio is a much funnier way to frame it. And I just said, like, yes, he's awful and gross and creepy. And if the thing with the 19-year-old is true, that is giving off really unpleasant groomer vibes. But we should also make fun of him. You know, it's a serious and creepy thing, but we should also mock him. And people going like, yep, or you know, being sort of non-committal about it. And this one guy, he just jumps in with, well, it's not a crime, what the fuck, there's nothing wrong with it. And it's like, yeah, you should calm the fuck down, dude, because you're only telling people one thing about yourself here. And then he's like, oh, you're saying that's creepy, that means you're actually the creep, because when people say things, it's what they really are. And it's kind of like, I'm not talking about a fictional scenario. This is a real, actual thing with Leonardo DiCaprio being creepy as fuck. It's not fictional, it's real. And saying this weird line while you're defending the guy who is definitely being weird and creepy, and you foaming at the mouth defending him and saying anyone who speaks out and says this is a problem, they're the real creeps. And it's just like, what the fuck is... I could not work out how this guy thought he was making himself look good. Like, he's just... And he went on and on. Like, I just... And he wouldn't stop. So I blocked him because I thought, no one needs this. I don't need to be providing a platform for this fucking weirdo to be spouting this shit. And then he started hassling me on Twitter, and I'm just like... And I just block him. But as I block him, I'm just like, dude, stop fucking obsessing over me, you weird fucking freak. It was just a weird left field, unexpected thing. And again, what I really couldn't wrap my head around is him thinking he was making himself look good. And it was very fucking strange. It was a very strange experience. Elmo is a red Muppet. Elmo Mush is an absolute fucking Muppet. Just an empty cloth head. Yes. I am saying he's a Muppet when I call him that. And also not dignifying him by saying his name. And also his fucking weird as fuck fanboys. If you point out just, objectively, this guy is a fucking moron. These idiots will just swarm, and it's just like, he doesn't love you, okay? He's not going to see you doing this sad fucking simping and say, this guy's going to be my new best friend. I'm going to invite him to my house and we'll hang out all the time. He doesn't love you. He doesn't love you, kids. It's just, people. What's wrong with them? You know? Why? Why, oh why am I having to put up with people? Because they're ridiculous. Jesus Christ, people are tying themselves in fucking knots to justify giving the Turf Queen money for the fucking Wizard game. And it's just like, no, sorry. I mean, by all means, you go the fuck ahead and do your thing. But you're just making it clear your mild amusement is more important than supporting the marginalized people that Turf Queen abuses. It's super weird to me how much people are tying themselves in knots. Why are you so upset? Well, people have explained extremely clearly why they're upset and why it's a bad thing. And just tying yourself in knots to justify, not doing the bare fucking minimum to be an ally. It's like the bare fucking minimum. It's less than nothing. It's don't do an actively bad thing. Don't do an actively bad thing. It's not that big a call, but too big for some people, apparently. So, you know what? It's almost 10. I'm going to go slightly early because I am fucking exhausted, which I may have said 10 or 20 times this stream. Hey, right, sorry. Oh, Abigail, people. I see people on the internet. On the Facebook and the Twitters. Well, dude, that's a good left field alternative. Mech Warrior 5. Green Comet tonight. Look, maybe just before bed, I'll go outside and see if I can see the Green Comet. But I'm going to go to bed. Maybe after going and looking for the Green Comet. But I'm going to go bye-byes. Probably doing a live stream tomorrow night as well. Ooh, 4 live streams in a row. Woo. We shall see. But I'm going to go bye-bye now and hopefully